Instructions for making unit plan and lesson plan. To start with, first I am putting syllabus for your reference. I have attached the syllabus of my subject, that is 7 and 512 Maintenance of Airframe and System. Figure 1. In this syllabus we can see that this subject is of credit 3, and having 3 lectures per week, 3 liters plus 0T plus 0P. It has no tutorial and practical. It has maximum 150 marks, which are further divided into internal assessment of 30 marks and 120 marks for external assessment, internal assessment, 30, external examination, 120. For this paper and term exam will be of 3 hours durations. Total number of hours to complete this subject is 42 hours. Since this subject has to be taught 3 hours per week, it will be completed in 42. 3 equals 14 weeks. This subject is of semester 7, means odd semester. Our semester we usually start in 2nd week of August and semester gets over by 1st week of December. As per university schedule, classes for semester 7 usually starts from 2nd week of July. As per guidelines of Supreme Court of India, at the time of joining of freshers, there should not be any senior students in college for 1 week. As our students are from far-flung places and it's practically not possible to send them on leave in between, so we make them join from first day of 2nd week of August. From August to 1st of December we get approx 16 weeks of classes. Even if we minus 2 weeks for internals and other activities, we are left with 14 weeks. Now we have to plan the making of unit plans and lesson plans for this subject. So in total we have to make 14 unit plans for this subject and 42 lesson plans for this subject. We got the number 14 from the total number of hours required and hours per week, 42. 3 equals 14 weeks. Remember, here we have 1 hour class. If the class duration is less than 1 hour, then the number of unit plan and lesson plan will increase. Let's suppose for our second shift students, we have 45 minutes classes. In this case we will have 42 by 60 equals 2,520 minutes, our class duration is 45 minutes, so total number of classes to be conducted are 2,520. 45 equals 56 classes. It means it is approximately 14 classes per month. So here we will have to plan in such a way so that in 4 unit plans we have 14 lesson plans instead of 12 lesson plans. Here we are increasing the number of classes by 2 per 4 weeks. But this plan 1 will not be feasible as we are planning for 14 weeks instead of 16 weeks. It means we will have to make 4 classes per week instead of 3 classes. This type of planning is necessary by the faculty before starting with making unit plan and lesson plan. If the class duration is 50 minutes, so accordingly your planning will also change. It will be 2,520 per 50 equals approximately 50.4 lesson plan, but we can plan it for 51 lesson plan. Now I will start with unit plan explanation. This is given below point-wise. In first field we have to mention the name of institute, that is School of Aeronautics, New Delhi, or School of Aeronautics, Niyam Rana. In second field, we have to mention date of submission of unit plan. This date is auto-filled by the system. Figure 2. Third field is related to course. Here you have to choose the correct course from the drop-down menu. Fourth field is semester. Once you choose the correct semester from the drop-down list, relevant subject list will be populated here. Fifth field is week number. Here you are supposed to write the week number for which you are making your unit plan. This is the week number of your academic week and not the week number of month. Let's say if your classes are starting from January 13, 2020, which according to calendar is 3rd week or 2nd week, depends how you read it. But your academic week is first only, and accordingly, week number to be mentioned here is week 1 and not week 2 or 3. Sixth field is email ID. You can choose your email ID from the suggestion list. Here we have mentioned your official ID only. We are using your official ID so as not to burden your personal ID. From the setting of your email ID you can make folders, where emails will automatically segregated depending on the subject of the various mails that you get. This will reduce your workload to segregate the emails while filling your TRC. Seventh field is your name. This also you can choose from the suggestion list. Make sure to use the correct selection. Eighth field is your subject. Once you have chosen the correct course and semester, subject list of relevant course and semester will populate here. I have uploaded the list of subjects with credit details. This will guide you with number of hours of class per week. Calculation regarding this, I have already discussed with you earlier. Now starts your main planning work. First column, you have to write the lesson number. Let's suppose you are working on a unit plan of subject with 3 credits and each class of 1 hour duration. In this case, for the first week and subsequent weeks, you will have 3 lessons. So accordingly, in this unit plan, you need to make 3 lessons. Let's see the example below in figure 2. Here you can notice that I have left 2 rows blank. I have done so because my lesson is of 3 credits and each of 1 hour duration. Let's suppose I am teaching this subject in second shift. Here I have 50 minutes class. According to the calculation that I showed you earlier, we have to plan 51 lessons, spread over 14 weeks. It means 3.64 classes per week, or you can say 4 classes per week. As we go down the semester, depending on portion you covered, you can decrease the class from 4 to 3. This is what needs to be planned by a good teacher. That's the main reason world over academic planning is done before commencing the actual classes. But alas, I have some team members who are not at all serious about this fact. Doesn't matter, we can always improve. Figure 3. Many faculty members also have doubt what has to be written in other 3 columns. For the clarification purpose, I will demonstrate that too. Before giving you demo for that, I need to show you copy of syllabus to make you understand in a better way. Basic things I have already discussed with you earlier. First topic in my syllabus is introduction, objective, scope and outcome of the course. Duration for this has been mentioned by RTU as 1 hour per 60 minutes. Dear team members, read the line properly. We need to explain to the students, objective of this course, its scope and outcome. As you all are aware, we have made our unit-wise syllabus at the beginning of each semester, where we have already defined these things. All these topics have to be taken from there and explained to students. Please have a look at the same for your ready reference. All the subjects have got this topic at the beginning of syllabus. Before I started making my unit plan, first I have seen the credit details, and hours required to complete the whole syllabus, and finally allotted time for Unit 1 of unit-wise syllabus. After checking this, I will have to decide which book I am going to consult for teaching the topics for my first unit plan. We will have to decide on book before planning our unit plan and lesson plan. It's required to do so because it will help us in further division of time for completion of topics and also for giving the details of teaching aids required. Through this only we will be able to mention the book details for the reference of students in lesson plan. So I decided for a book published by School of Aeronautics, whose title is Airframe and Aircraft Components. Now I will show you my unit plan, which I planned for first week. It is given below in this literature as figure number 5. Figure 4 Unit-wise syllabus. My unit plan for the above subject, that is maintenance of airframe and system. Figure 5 Completed unit plan. So here you can see in my lesson plan number 1, I have covered the introduction part. These details can be had from the unit-wise syllabus. For every subject, unit-wise syllabus was made earlier. It is necessary for the students to know why he should learn this subject and what will be the outcome after he clears this subject or course. To motivate him to learn this subject, we are devoting 1 hour before starting the subject or course. Second lesson plan in my unit plan is related to the next topic in the syllabus, that is airframe structure and controls, various types of structures in airframe construction. Now we will have to refer the book, to find out what are topics to be covered under this heading, so on going through the book, I found following topics to be covered under the above mentioned aim or objective of lesson plan. To mention them, they are: principal unit of airframe, structural stresses, major structural parts in fixed-wing aircraft. So I have written them in column, material you plan to teach. Similarly, I have done so for my next lesson planning in unit plan. Here you can see it. I hope by now all doubts related to preparing unit plans must be over. My next topic is lesson plan. Basic knowledge which is required to make lesson plans is as follows. Teachers teaching various subjects are required to make 1 lesson plans for 1 hour class, that is for 40 hours, teaching, credit for subject, there should be 40 lesson plans. If your class is of 50 minutes, then in this case, you will have 48 lesson plan, which will be associated with 12 unit plans. Your subject is of credit 4, means you will have 4 classes per week. It means in the second example, keeping the number of classes per week fixed, we have increased the number of associated lesson plans and unit plans. There will be difference of 2 unit plans, 8 lesson plans, and it will take 2 more weeks to cover the syllabus. It's unethical to make the lesson plan of 1 hour and teach the students for 50 minutes. In case you have limitations on number of weeks, then, number of classes can be increased per week in few unit plans. Assignment questions should be made in such a way, so that the students will have an idea of type of questions to be asked in Part A, Part B and Part C of the question paper for internal and external examinations. Again, it's unethical to give theoretical questions in Part C of assignment for the numerically oriented subjects. Teachers not good with numerical part, usually do so. You cannot make good engineers without making them practice numerical or without developing their analytical power. Teachers are advised to write correct chapter number with correct page number against each assignment questions and in column where we have to. Mention book reference details. Giving wrong information is misguiding your students. Remember, planning for teaching has to be done before going to class. If you give your students good unit plans, lesson plans, and assignments, it will reduce your work in class by at least 50%. You tell students to come prepared for your class according to the planning, and you will see the results yourself. There is column in lesson plan, where we have to mention required teaching aid. I have seen teachers writing, whiteboard and marker. Do you really think that's the teaching aid required? These 2 things are the part and parcel of any classroom. In engineering subjects, how you can teach your students without figures. I have seen just 5% teachers mentioning the slide numbers or any other relevant teaching aid. If board and marker has to be teaching aid, then it's better to have pre-filled column in lesson plan. None of you bothered to worry why specifically this column is left blank. Above were some of the main points to be aware of while making the lesson plan. Now let's discuss the lesson plan in detail. First, I will like to show you the copy of lesson plan that I filled for my subject. Intentionally I filled for the second lesson, to clarify some doubts. We have to mention name of institute, select from drop-down list, similarly select the course from drop-down list. Date of submission of lesson plan will be taken automatically by the system. Similarly, go ahead with the selection of name of faculty, email ID, semester, type of subject and batch. On selection of above-mentioned criteria, subject list will appear, from which you select your desired subject. After selection of the subject, comes very important point, is how to correlate your lesson plan with unit plan. After discussion with few faculty members, it came to notice that they are getting confused about correlating both unit plan and lesson plan. Change has been done, and now in unit number, you can mention your unit plan, week number, and in lesson number, you can mention your respective lesson plan number and unit plan. Next point is tie-in and revision. When we go to class, we don't start fresh topic without giving revision to last class topic, and that is what has to be mentioned here. Further, we need to ask questions from the students, to test their existing knowledge from the topics you taught in last class and in relation to the topic you want to teach. If a teacher does this, and it has been experimented by me myself, that even weaker student will start coming to class, fully prepared. This is the best way to make your students vigilant and attentive in class. These questions should always be asked from weaker students, instead of intelligent one. Questions can be asked from the intelligent one, once you have finished with weaker students and didn't got the correct answer for your question. Through this you will also come to know the percentage of input taken by your students for your last lecture. If they have any doubt from your last lecture, it should be clarified before going to next lesson. Though sometimes it's time-taking, but not for every topic. Next topic in our lesson plan is objective of class. Objective of the class has to be taken from your unit-wise syllabus. Syllabus gives us in brief, the portion that you have to teach in class. Introduction is next in row. Here we have to give abstract of the portion that you want to teach in this class. Now comes the main body of our lesson plan, that is writing the main points of teaching in chronological order. This you can't write without the help of book or literature, from which you are planning to teach. Here each heading and subheadings of your topics can be used as chronological points. In main body itself we have teaching aids required as discussed earlier, There is no need of writing board and marker as this column has not been designed for this. Teaching aids are something which makes your teaching easier. In my lesson plan I have used slides as teaching aids. When you are planning your subject, from the starting itself, we can plan for slides and other teaching aids. When we go through books, most of the topics in engineering are explained through figure, which you can convert them into slides. Making slides make your lecture more impressive and easier to deliver. You don't have to draw a diagram in class, simply project your slides through projectors. It saves your time and you use the correct figure for explanations. Projecting slide is also a better option as most of us are not good artists. It saves time too. You can devote much more time in explanation. A good teacher always uses his or her time in explanation, instead of wasting time in drawing diagrams and giving dictations. Giving dictations is not at all desirable at this stage of students' life when they are going to be engineers. We have thousands of colorful slides available with us, which you can take from Mr. Aziz and arrange them according to your syllabus. On the other hand, you can just scan the page with relevant figure and crop the same for making your own slide. Other teaching aids as physical components if available are also a very good idea. If I talk about my subject, when going for aircraft system, I can use physical item like hydraulic pumps for teaching purpose. Similarly, faculty teaching electronics subjects and explaining about electronic components can show them physically too. On the other hand, if it's a rules and regulations subject, teachers should try to collect such documents to show to students, which can be used as teaching aid. In rules paper there are topics like minimum equipment list, certificate of registration, etc., all. These documents can be shown to students and accordingly lessons should be planned. So my dear, stop writing board and marker in teaching aid. It looks like asking for shirt button, when buying new shirt. Hope now you can understand what I meant by teaching aid and you writing board and marker. Next topic in our lesson plan is book reference. This I already discussed before. You should give correct book reference and page number, so that your student can prepare before coming to class. Giving wrong information spoils your image in front of students, and in this world of digitalization, students are very fast about reporting wrong planning to management, which spoils your image in management eyes too. In this fast-changing world, no one wants unproductive staff. So dear team members, we should work hard towards our aim. Making these unit plan and lesson plan are not repetitive process. Once you have properly planned your subject, it needs just a review and upgrading each semester. Now comes the part of making assignment questions. They should be planned in such a way that when your student is writing your assignment, none of the line taught by you is left. When we write, 50% is learned, only rest 50% is left to be revised and learned. Therefore assignments play a great role while planning for students' career. I hope now all your queries are clear related to making to unit plans and lesson plans. Making them is the basic duty of teacher. One can't do anything till it's planned. Even you cannot celebrate a small party till you plan it. Imagine sitting for party without glasses in house. Thanks for your patience and best of luck for your professional career.